Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, February 9th, 2024. Today we're going to do college basketball, NBA, NHL. Look ahead to today's and the weekend's games. I'll give out my pick for the Super Bowl. We have soccer, golf, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's and the weekend's games. Chattanooga over VMI 88-84, Binghamton over Albany 69-57, Youngstown over Milwaukee 95-85 in OT, Memphis over Temple 84-77, Monmouth over William and Mary 68-64, Stony Brook over Elon 79-64, Northeastern over Campbell 86-76, Hofstra over Hampton 63-59, Wilmington over Drexel 75-56, Delaware over Towson 74-62, Penn State over Iowa 89-79, Quinnipiac over St. Peter's 84-73, Mount St. Mary's over Manhattan 82-78, Marist over Seattle 67-51, Iona over Niagara 74-71, Fairfield over Ryder 84-67, Merrimack over Long Island 82-79 in OT, Central Con over Sacred Heart 77-70, Wagner over Fairleigh Dickinson 66-62, Lemoyne over Stonehill 88-57, Sanford over Greensboro 78-69, Green Bay over Robert Morris, 81-76 in OT. Northern Kentucky over Oakland, 99-89 in OT. Wright State over Detroit, 92-85. NJIT over Vermont, 63-61. UMass Lowell over UMBC, 93-80. Bryant over New Hampshire, 85-66. North Alabama over North Florida, 79-74. Jacksonville over Central Arkansas, 59-55. Liberty over Middle Tennessee, 88-53. Jacksonville State over Sam Houston, 79-68. Stephen F. Austin over Texas Rio Grande, 92-84. Number 8, Arizona over Utah, 105-99 in triple overtime. Colorado over Arizona State, 82-70. Charleston over NCAT, 80-58. South Dakota over Denver, 92-86 in OT. North Dakota over Omaha, 99-78. St. Thomas over Oral Roberts, 85-63. North Dakota State over UMKC, 82-78 in overtime. So best bet easily won. That went to 160. But granted, it was overtime. Lipscomb over Queens, 90-88. Austin Peay over Kennesaw State, 85-69. Tarleton State over Utah Valley, 72-61. Northern Colorado over Montana State, 73-70. Southeast Missouri over Tennessee Tech, 88-69. Little Rock over Western Illinois, 63-60. Tennessee State over Lindenwood, 65-55. Eastern Illinois over Southern Indiana, 81-71. UAB upsets number 20 Florida Atlantic, 76-73 in OT. Moore State over SIU Edwardsville, 79-68. Utah Tech over Southern Utah, 70-68. UC Davis over Fullerton, 71-58. Weber State over Portland State, 84-72. Montana over Northern Arizona, 94-66. Idaho State over Sac State, 68-40. Wazoo over Oregon State, 64-58. Oregon over Washington, 85-80. Cal Baptist over UT Arlington, 64-63. Seattle over Abilene Christian, 75-52. Cal State Northridge over Cal Poly, 78-65. Riverside over Bakersfield, 65-63. Irvine over Santa Barbara, 76-61. San Fran over Pepperdine, 80-74. And Hawaii over UC San Diego, 94-86 in OT. We only have 3 games tonight, which is crazy. 7 o'clock, ESPN2, number 18, Dayton and VCU. Projections, Dayton 1.4, total 139 and 3/20. And it is Dayton by 1.5, total 134.5. Over. 8 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, number 24, San Diego State at Nevada. Lions pick them in 143 and 3/10, and it's Nevada 2.5, total 140.5. Over. Although San Diego State's tempting too. 9:30 Fox Sports 1, San Jose State, Colorado State. Men's Colorado State by 13, total 147 and a 20th, and it's 16.5 and 142.5. I'm going to go with the over in this one as well. All right, Saturday, notables. Fox Sports 1 at noon, number 1 UConn at Georgetown. Big Ten Network, number 11 Wisconsin at Rutgers. ESPN, number 16 Alabama at LSU. ESPN 2, Clemson at Syracuse. Without Chicago, George Washington. 12:30 on Fox, number 8-19 Creighton at Xavier. USA, St. Louis, St. Joe's. 1 o'clock, SEC Network, Vandy at number 15 South Carolina. We have the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, Toledo, App State. That's a good one. CBS Sports Network at 1:30, Navy Army College Basketball Edition. 2 o'clock on ESPN, BC at number 9 Duke, CBS, number 10 Illinois at Michigan State, ESPN 2, TCU at number 14, Iowa State, Max Sun Belt Challenge, Miami of Ohio, Georgia State, Central Michigan, Old Dominion, Western Michigan, Southern Miss, Indiana State, Missouri State's a good one. Fox Sports 1, Providence, Butler, LaSalle, Richmond, ESPNU, Duquesne, St. Bonaventure, 2:30 on USA, George Mason and Davidson. 3 o'clock, Max Sun Belt Challenge, Ohio, Arkansas State, Buffalo, Georgia Southern, Eastern Michigan, Neil Monroe, Northern Illinois, South Alabama, Longhorn Network, West Virginia, Texas, South Florida, Rice. South Florida is making itself a case for that large. 3:30 SEC Network, number 12 Auburn in Florida. Drexel, Charleston isn't bad. 4 o'clock on ESPN, number 3 North Carolina at Miami. ESPN 2, number 5 Houston at Cincinnati. CBS Gonzaga at number 17 Kentucky. That is like a must for Gonzaga. UCF at number 23 Texas Tech. ACC Network, NC State and Wake. ESPNU, East Carolina and UTSA. Fox Sports 1, Maryland, Ohio State. Fresno Air Force. 4:30 Max Sunbelt Challenge, Troy, Kent State. 5 o'clock Max Sunbelt Challenge, Ball State, Texas State. Pac-12 Network, Wazoo, Oregon. 5:30 on Fox, UCLA, Cal. CW, Vatech, Notre Dame. 6 o'clock ESPN, number 13 Baylor, number 4 Kansas. Fox Sports 1, St. John's at number 7 Marquette. Max Sunbelt Challenge on ESPN 2, Akron, James Madison. That's a good one. ESPNU, Drake, Bradley. SEC Network, Georgia, Arkansas. CBS Sports Network, Furman, East Tennessee State. 6:30 ACC Network, Georgia Tech, Louisville. Big Ten Network, Michigan, Nebraska. 7 o'clock Pac-12 Network, Washington, Oregon State. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. 7:45 on CW, Virginia, Florida State. 8 o'clock on Fox, Indiana, number 2 Purdue. ESPN, number 6 Tennessee at Texas A&M. CBS Sports Network, UNLV at number 25 New Mexico. ESPN 2, Arizona State, Utah. 8:30 SEC Network, Mississippi State, Missouri. St. Mary's, Portland. 9 o'clock Pepperdine, Loyola, Marymount. 10 o'clock ESPN, number 8 Arizona at Colorado. ESPN 2, Kansas State at number 21 BYU. Fox Sports 1, Boise State at number 22 Utah State. ESPNU, USC Stanford. Santa Clara, San Francisco, San Diego Pacific. And then Sunday, 12 o'clock on ESPN 2. That's a small window. Number 20 FAU at Wichita State. CBS Sports Network, Seton Hall at Villanova. 1 o'clock Penn State, Northwestern on Big Ten Network. 2 o'clock UAB Tulsa, Charlotte Temple, North Texas SMU, ESPNU, Tulane Memphis, and then North Texas SMU, by the way, is on ESPN 2. On USA, Rhode Island, UMass. 3 o'clock Max Sun Belt Challenge, Bowling Green, Louisiana. Big Ten Network, Minnesota, Iowa. And at 4 o'clock, Northern Iowa, UIC. So that game is going to be ending at the time the Super Bowl is starting. All right, now move on to the NBA. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to a rare, smaller Friday than Thursday slate. Warriors over the Pacers, 131-109. Magic over the Spurs, 127-111. Cavs over the Nets, 118-95. Mavs over the Knicks, 122-108. Bulls over the Grizzlies, 118-110. T-Wolves over the Bucks, 129-105. Suns over the Jazz, 129-115. Nuggets over the Lakers, 114-106. And the Pistons over the Blazers, 128-122 in OT. All right, tonight's slate. On NBA TV tonight, Hawks, Sixers. My line is the Sixers by 3/4, so 238 and 17/20. And we have Hawks 2.5 total, 243.5 under. 7:30 Wiz Celtics. My line is Celtics 17 and 3/4, total 236 and a 20th. And it's 17 and 236. That is so close. Slight lead Celtics. Raptors hosting the Rockets. My line's the Raptors 4.25 till 239 and 3/10. Oh, this would have been Fred VanVleet's first game back in Toronto, but he's sitting. And And it's 2-2, 3.5. Under. 8 o'clock, Hornets, Bucks. My line is the Bucks by 21.25, so 2-6 in the 20th. Must win for the Bucks. 14 and 231.5. I'm going to lay the 14 with the Bucks. 10 o'clock, Nuggets, Kings. Mine's Pick'em in 230 and 9/10. And it's Kings by 1, total 233.5. I like the under. And last but not least, 10:30 NBA TV, Pelicans, Lakers. Mine's Lakers by 1, total 231.25. And it's Pelicans by 1, total 234.5. This is going to be another under as well. Saturday, 3 o'clock, NBA TV, Thunder, Mavs. 3:30, Pistons, Clippers. 6 o'clock, Spurs, Nets. 7 o'clock, Grizzlies, Hornets, Bulls, Magic. Sixers, Wizards. 7:30, Pacers, Knicks. Rockets, Hawks. Cavs, Raptors. 8:30 on ABC, Suns, Warriors for Saturday primetime. And at 10 o'clock, you have the Pelicans at the Blazers. All right, Sunday, 2 games. 2 o'clock on ABC, Celtics, Heat. And at 3 o'clock, you have the Kings at the Thunder. All right, now move on to the NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's and the weekend's games. Bruins over the Canucks 4-0. Panthers over the Capitals 4-2. Flames over the Devils 5-3. Flyers over the Jets 4-1. Canes over the Avs 5-2. Isles over the Lightning 6-2. Golden Knights over the Coyotes 3-2. All right, tonight's slate, 8 o'clock, you have the Penguins at the Wild. Marc-Andre Fleury against his old team. Pens minus 120. Wild even money over under 6.5. Overs plus 110. Unders minus 134. Pens minus 1.5 is plus 2.2. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 250. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Wild to win outright at even money. That's a low number. 8:30, Rangers, Blackhawks. Rangers minus 310. Blackhawks plus 245. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Rangers minus 1.5 is minus 115. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 104. I'm going to go with the over, but I don't feel good about it. And then 10 o'clock, you have the Oilers at the Ducks. Oilers minus 295. Ducks plus 235. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Oilers minus 1.5 is minus 114. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 105. I love the over in that game. All right, Saturday's loaded. 1 o'clock on ABC. Blues, Sabres. New Stars, Habs. Canucks, Red Wings. Flames, Islanders. 3:30 on ABC. Capitals, Bruins. 6 o'clock, Avs, Panthers. 7 o'clock, Leafs, Sens. 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus and Hulu, Kraken, Flyers. Devils, Hurricanes. Lightning, Jackets. Pens, Jets. 8 o'clock, Coyotes, Preds. And then 10 o'clock on an NHL Network, you have the Oilers at the Kings. So 2 hockey on ABC and then a basketball on ABC Saturday night. And then a basketball Sunday afternoon before the Super Bowl on ABC. And then Sunday, 1 o'clock, Blues, Habs, and then 1:30 you have the Canucks at the Capitals. That's actually an interesting spot for Vancouver. So there you have it for hockey. Okay, the moment you all have been waiting for over the past couple of days. My pick for Super Bowl 58. It's all going to go down Sunday, 6:30 on CBS. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson. It's going to be fun. And it is going to be a great game. It's obviously a rematch between the Chiefs and the 49ers. George Bruce said on the show where I had him on yesterday that Joe Thuney will not play and he is questionable, but he thinks Jerick McKinnon's coming back and he's listed here as doubtful. Rashee Rice now questionable due to an ankle injury. Clyde Edwards-Helaire questionable because of an illness. Willie Gay's probable, so it looks like he's good to go on defense for the Chiefs. And on the flip side for the 49ers, George Kittle probable toe. Eric Armstead questionable foot. That's the big one on defense for them that we got to keep an eye on. So if Joe Thuney doesn't play, I have 49ers by 2, total 43 and a 10th. The totals will always stay at 43 and a 10th. But right now I have my line 49ers 1.5, total 43 and a 10th. And FanDuel right now has it 49ers by 2.5, total 47.5. I think the total is way too high. I like the under. That is going to be my pick for the game. I like the under a lot in terms of a side or total. I like the under. Both these teams, I think, have good defenses. I know the 49ers defense has been shaky in the playoffs. And the guy in the secondary that got hurt, Hufanga, that injury, I think we underestimated that a little bit. But the Chiefs' offense has really turned it on in the postseason. But as we know in the regular season, it did not play up to its capability for a lot of the regular season. And then they turned on the switch and they've been competent offensively. But I do think this is an under game, and I think that the final score will be in the realm of 23-20, 24-21. I think 24-21 is really realistic. 26-20, 26-22. I think we might have a weird final. 25-23. No, that would mean over. I don't want that. But, yeah, my pick in terms of side or total is going to be under 47.5. I think that's a high number. But straight up, I'm going with San Francisco. Do I feel great about it? No. But I do still believe that they have a better roster than the Kansas City Chiefs. Although the Chiefs have a coaching advantage with Andy Reid over Kyle Shanahan and a quarterback advantage, obviously, with Patrick Mahomes over Brock Purdy. But the 49ers roster is better than the Chiefs roster. But as George said last night, yes, the Chiefs know how to win these types of games. The 49ers came out so close a couple times, but have fallen short. Super Bowl MVP, I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey at plus 450. I think if the 49ers win, he'll be the best guy on the field. That guy is not intimidated by any defense. And I just think he's a beast. So Christian McCaffrey plus 450, Super Bowl MVP. It's probably a better bet than taking the Niners minus 2.5 for the Niners at minus 130. It just is. And what I am going to bet, though, is an alternate line with the Chiefs. I think I want to bet plus 6.5 at minus 260 with the under in a separate bet. Because I have a 49ers future with some other sports futures. And the way to hedge it is, for me, not to take the plus 2.5 with the Chiefs. Because I just think I need more wiggle room with the spread. So I go to plus 6.5 at minus 260 and parlay that with the under, and that would bring me to plus 151. So I think I'm going to do Chiefs plus 6.5 combined with the under and make that one bet so I could hedge properly with the pick. So I'm going to go 24-20 49ers, Christian McCaffrey will be your MVP, and I won't be shocked if he scores 2 touchdowns. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. We have a lot of soccer to get to. We'll go over results from today and look ahead to today in the weekend. So we had a friendly today, Al Hilal over Al Nasser, 2-0. And then we have 2 friendlies over the weekend. Saturday at 8 a.m., Leiferingen pins Saalfelden. And then an MLS friendly between New England and Orlando. Coupe de France, Rowan and Monaco 1-1 draw, and Rowan advances 6-5 on penalties. And then the quarterfinals of Coupe de France will be next week. All right, Premier League this weekend. Tomorrow at 7:30, Man City, Everton. And then 10, Fulham, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Burnley, Luton, Sheffield, Tottenham, Brighton, Wolves, Brentford, 12:30, Nottingham, Newcastle. And then Sunday, 9 a.m., West Ham, Arsenal, and 11:30, Aston Villa and Man United. Liga MX. Pachuca over Leon 3-2. That was the result from Wednesday night. And then tonight at 8, you have Mazatlan and Atlas. So Mazatlan plus 155, Atlas plus 160, draw plus 230. I'm going to go with the draw plus 230. And then 10 o'clock, Tijuana Querétaro. Tijuana minus 125, Querétaro plus 330, draw plus 250. I'm going to go with the draw plus 250. Saturday, 6 p.m., the Cox of Toluca, Guadalajara Juarez, 8 o'clock, Leon America, 8:05, Cruz Azul, Athletic San Luis, and 10 o'clock, Monterrey, Pachuca, and Santos Tigres. And then Sunday at 1 p.m., UNAM and Puebla. German Bundesliga, today, 2:30, of Dortmund and Freiburg. Dortmund minus 220, Freiburg plus 490, the draws plus 370. I'm going over 3.5 goals at plus 120. Saturday, 9:30, Union Berlin, Wolfsburg, Gladbach, Darmstadt, Frankfurt, Bochum, Augsburg, RP Leipzig, Bremen, Heidenheim, and at 12:30, Leverkusen, Bayern. Sunday, 9:30, Stuttgart, Mainz, and 11:30, Hoffenheim and Cologne. La Liga. Today, 3 o'clock, Cadiz and Betis. Cadiz plus 185, Betis plus 160, draws 2-1. I like the draw 2-1. Saturday morning, 8 a.m., Alaves, Villarreal, 10:15, Real Sociedad, Osasuna, 12:30, Real Madrid, Girona, and 3 o'clock, Las Palmas, Valencia. Sunday morning, 8 a.m., Getafe, Celta Vigo, 10:15, Mallorca, Rayo, 12:30, Sevilla, Atletico, and 3 o'clock, Barcelona and Granada. Serie A. Today, 2:45, Salernitana and Empoli. Salernitana plus 140, Empoli 2-1. The draws plus 210. Draw plus 210. Saturday, 9 a.m., Cagliari, Lazio, 12 o'clock, AS Roma, Inter Milan, 2:45, Sassuolo, Torino. Sunday, 6:30, Fiorentina, Frosinone, 9 o'clock, Bologna, Lecce, Monza, Verona, noon, Genoa, Atalanta, and then 2:45, Milan and Napoli. League One today, 3 o'clock, Marseille and Metz. Marseille minus 320, Metz plus 750, the draws plus 390. I like under 2.5 goals, minus 102. Saturday, 11 a.m., Lens, Strasbourg, 3 o'clock, PSG, Lille. And then Sunday, 7 a.m., Le Havre, AC, Rennes. 9 a.m., Clermont, Brest, Lorient, Reims, Toulouse, Nantes. 11 o'clock, Montpellier, Lyon, and 2:45, Nice and Monaco. Dutch Eredivisie, today, 2 o'clock, RKC, Waldwick, and NEC. Waldwick plus 175, NEC plus 125, the draws plus 250. I'm going to go with NEC at plus 125. I'm surprised that they are that small of a favorite. Um, 12:45 Excelsior FC 20. 2 o'clock Almeria City Azil Bar. 3 o'clock Heracles Vitesse. Sunday 6:15 Go Ahead Eagles PC Zwolle. 8:30 FC Utrecht Fortuna. Heerenveen Ajax. 10:45 FC Volendam at PSV, and 2 o'clock Feyenoord Sparta. ELC. Today 3 o'clock Sheffield Wednesday and Birmingham. Sheffield Wednesday plus 140, Birmingham's 2-1, the draw's plus 220. I'm going to go with Birmingham at 2-1 on the road as an upset. All right, Saturday, 7:30, Ipswich, West Brom, 10 o'clock, Blackburn, Stoke, Cardiff, Preston, Hull, Swansea, Leeds, Rotherham, Borough, Bristol City, QPR, Norwich City, Southampton, Huddersfield, Sunderland, Plymouth, and Watford, Leicester. Sunday, 7 a.m., Coventry, and Millwall. Scottish Premiership. Only one game on Sunday. I have Dundee and St. Johnstone. And then we do not have Saudi Pro League until next week. So there you have it for soccer. Now move on to golf. We will do a leaderboard check-in for the Phoenix Open. Your leader right now with a score of 6 under is Heath Iglia. Second with 5 under is Andrew Novak, tied for third with 4 under S.H. Kim, Shane Lowry. Tied for 5th with 3 under Jordan Spieth, Nate Taylor, and Cam Young. Tied for 8th with 2 under CAU, Martin Laird, Joel Dahman, Davis Thompson, Alex Thorett, Alex Baddeley, Matt Fitzpatrick, Cam Champ, Baffick Dealey, and Camila Vegas. Tied for 18th with 1 under Eric Cole, Lucas Donald, Son J.M., Adam Schenk, Taylor Hogue, Hayden Buckley, Brendan Todd, Chris Goddard, Sam Ryder, Zach Blair, Bud Cauley, Charlie Hoffman, Keith Mitchell, Ben Martin, Kurt Katayama, Scotty Scheffler, Hideki Matsuyama, Stuart Singh, Siwoo Kim, Sam Burns, Seamus Power, Scott Stallings, Taylor Moore, Taylor Montgomery, Brett Horschel, Jonathan Vegas, Justin Lauer, Justin Sue, Troy Merritt, and Alex Jork. Tied for 48th at even. We're going to do notables now. Carson Young, Brian Harmon, Nate Lashley, Emiliano Gray, Adam Svensson, Harry English, Lucas Hodges, Austin Eckroyd, Scott Stevens, Tyler Duncan, Peter Malnati, Will Gordon, Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, Adam Scott, Corey Connors, Cesar V, Danny Berger, Chad Ramey, Kevin Stradler, Zach Johnson, Ryan Fox, Matt Neesmith, Mark Hubbard, Robbie Shelton, Christian Ziedenhout. Tied for 80th at 1 over, Tyson Alexander, Grayson Murray, Luke Bliss, Evan Van Rooyen, Ben Griffin, Ben Taylor, Dylan McCarthy, Kevin Chappell, Minwoo Lee, Banganon, J.B. Holmes, Nate Hardy, Bayo Hostler, Doug Gim, Ryan Moore, Michael Kim. Tied for 97th at 2 over, Davis Lipsky, Robert McIntyre, Joseph Burlett, Grayson Sieg, Max Homa, Ricky Fowler, Adam Putnam, Grayson Higo, C.T. Pond, Vincent Whaley, Brandon Wu, Jason Hadley, J.T. Potson, Kyunggu Lee, Tommy Kim is tied for 112th at 3 over with J.J. Swan, Victor Perez, Thomas Dietrich. 116th with 4 over, Ashke Bahita, Victor Norman, Matthias Schmid, Matt Wallace, Matt Kuchar, Adam Hadwin, Ben Coles, Brent Snecker. Tied for 124th with 5 over, Caleb Tarrant, Nicholas Echevarria, Dylan Wu, Aaron Wright, Lucas Griffin, Patton Kazir. Tied for, or no, I'm sorry, not tied. 131st with 6 over, Gary Woodland, and withdrawing from the competition, Yuan Yachun. So there you have it for golf. News and notes. NFL awards were announced tonight. Your MVP, Lamar Jackson. That's not surprising. The 11th player in NFL history to win multiple MVPs. It was a well-deserved honor for Lamar. He was the best player in the league in the regular season this year. So comeback player of the year goes to Joe Flacco over Damar Hamlin, which is a crime shame. It was by 11 points. Damar Hamlin had more first-place votes. Joe Flacco had more points. It's a 5-3-1 scoring system. I thought DeMar Hamlin was robbed. I don't understand how Hamlin isn't the winner. Like, Calvin Watkins of the Dallas News said it and responded to Ian Rappaport's tweet. I agree. DeMar Hamlin died on the field, and he came back to life courtesy of the great doctors that saved him and saved his life. And that was an emotional night last year in Cincinnati. And he came back and played. He played meaningful snaps for the Bills this year. I get it. Joe Flacco, cute story, took the Browns to the postseason, but he turned into a freaking pumpkin against the Texans. I know postseason doesn't count, but 5 weeks of good play from Joe Flacco got him the comeback player of the year over a guy that died on the field last year and came back and played meaningful snaps for the Buffalo Bills. It was a highway robbery by Joe Flacco. And that's no disrespect for Joe Flacco. He was outstanding. But what are the odds he's going to be that good again next year? But I don't think anybody thought he was going to come back and be good this year. I understand that. But it's disrespectful that DeMar Hamlin ran over. Other award winners. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year, well-deserved. Christian McCaffrey, Offensive Player of the Year, well-deserved. Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year, very well-deserved. C.J. Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year, very well-deserved. But the Coach of the Year was a closer vote than expected, by the way, guys. D'Amico Ryans and Kevin Stefanski were technically tied, but more first-place votes was the tiebreaker, and Stefanski won it on the tiebreaker. So that was a much closer vote than anticipated there. And then the Defensive Rookie of the Year, Texans defensive end Will Anderson, very well deserved there as well. Good for him. He deserved it over Jalen Carter for sure. So congrats to the two Texans guys. And that just shows that trade paid off when they trade up to draft Anderson. So that's pretty cool that the two teammates won the Rookies of the Year. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame class, Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, Randy Gradshire, and Steve McMichael. Obviously the last two being seniors. So congrats to the Hall of Fame class. All well-deserved. And those first five guys I brought up really were great players in their heydays, and I had the honor of watching all those guys dominate. And first-time eligible Hall of Famers next year include Eli Manning and Marshawn Lynch. T.J. Watt had a cryptic tweet an hour before he lost Defensive Player Award to Myles Garrett. He obviously feels that he probably should have won that award.
the Knicks had a shit ton of injuries last night against the Mavs. They only had 7 healthy players. They had no business being close in that game. Isaiah Hartenstein was among one of the players that left the game. Sore Achilles. We did talk about all the trades on the trade deadline recap show. The Kobe statue was unveiled outside of Crypto.com Arena, which was awesome. Vanessa Bryant says that Kobe picked the pose of the statue, which is awesome. And that statue, I saw it. It's really nice. And it's just Crypto.com. I can't believe they changed the name of that arena. It should be, they should have kept it at Staples Center or renamed it the Kobe Bryant. Or maybe the Kobe Bryant court or they should have incorporated Kobe in there. And I'm glad that he got that statue that's going to stay outside of Crypto.com Arena forever. Because you could argue he's the greatest Laker ever. I mean, I certainly believe that there's an argument to be made he's the greatest Laker ever. He won 5 titles. And I know he was the best player on 2 teams that won the title, the other 3 being Shaq, but Kobe's, in my opinion, the second greatest player of the century behind LeBron. That's how strongly I felt about Kobe Bryant. So maybe I'm a little biased just from watching him. Even though I you know how I feel about the Lakers. I do not like the Lakers. I'm a Knicks fan, but I will always be a big Kobe supporter. And Vanessa's speech was great. The statue's great. And that was really nice that they had that unveiled. Cowboys hire Mike Zimmer to be their next defensive coordinator. I like that hire for Dallas. I really do. Mike Zimmer, obviously, former head coach now with the Vikes, and had some good years with the Vikes as a head coach, but I think being a defensive coordinator will help Mike Zimmer and his reputation. And I think, honestly, him for Dan Quinn is a little bit of a wash. Being defensive coordinator again helped Dan Quinn get another gig. I think it'll help Mike Zimmer. How about this? The Commanders are hiring former Eagles offensive coordinator Brian Johnson as he's to have a prominent role on the offensive staff. Deion Sanders says that coaches badmouth us as he says recruits showed him videos of rival coaches talking about Colorado like a dog. Huh. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if other coaches are bad-mouthing them because of the reputation that they've kind of built up and whatnot. So people crap talking about Colorado doesn't surprise me. Brianna Stewart had a game winner for the USA in Olympic qualifying tournament group opener against Belgium, which was awesome. Spencer Dinwiddie is being bought out by the Raptors. Teams interested: the Lakers, Mavs, Pelicans, and Sixers. And he was at the Mavs-Knicks game tonight. I think the Pelicans would be great for Dinwiddie. That's the team that should pursue him. And I called them a loser on the trade deadline show yesterday. But if they sign Dinwiddie, I think that'd be a great fit for them. I think Lakers, Dinwiddie would be good. He was already on the Mavs. And then the Sixers would make sense for him too if they don't get Lowry. Speaking of the Sixers, they could pursue Paul George, as Chris Haynes expects Philly to be very aggressive if Paul George doesn't sign the Clippers extension. If they if James Harden turns into a pumpkin again in the playoffs and things go sour there, that could be a Knicks target too. I'd be all over Paul George if I'm anybody. I mean, he does make sense for Philly, makes a ton of sense for the Knicks. So I expect the Knicks to be a big challenger for Paul George too. The Raptors decide to keep Bruce Brown despite trade buzz and the buyout potential. The Pistons waived Killian Hayes, former number 7 overall pick in 2020. How about this? The Bulls haven't made a trade since 2021. So this is 3 years in a row where the Bulls don't make a deal. There is DeJounte to the Pelicans rumors. That would be something. And the Suns were eyeing Miles Bridges harder than anybody. Pedro Martinez says he wanted to play for the Yankees as he tried to get traded to the Yankees 3 times in his career. That would be something if he were to end up being traded there in his career. Yamamoto arrived at Dodgers camp for day 1. That's good for them. There's a video of that. And then the White Sox do park rendering as there's pictures of what the team's proposed stadium could look like. And they're pretty neat. So there you have it for news and notes. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I'm down to 2 picks that I'm considering for best bet. Obviously, yesterday's was a winner with that over that I took in the Summit League game between North Dakota State and Kansas City. There's a Dutch Eredivisie number I liked. And I don't know if I want to go there. Or if I want to take the obvious. The Dutch Eredivisie number. Oh, it wasn't Dutch Eredivisie. I guess it was was it ELC? With Sheffield Wednesday, but there was a soccer one I loved. Now I can't find it. It wasn't Salernitana against Empoli, Serie A. I guess the line was taken down. So, I'm just going to go to hockey and take the over in the Oilers-Ducks game. You're just betting on the Oilers offense in this spot. I'm going to take a tenth of a unit, and I'm going to go with the over 6.5 at minus 115 between the Ducks and the Oilers for my best bet of the day. All right, so there you have it for the show. I'll be back on Monday recapping the Super Bowl. And look into everything going on Monday. And then tomorrow we're going to do another props episode. And I'm going to officially pick my props for the big game. And then starting next week, we're going to do a series of podcasts. It's
going to be NFL off-season team-by-team breakdown, and each team is going to get their own podcast. And I want to get that done really quickly before the conference tournament start in college basketball. So that's going to be the road to 2,000 podcasts on the show. So that's just a really good accomplishment that I want to get sooner rather than later. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.